If you're struggling to save or unsure about where to keep your money, today's video is for you. I'll be breaking down where to save, how to save, and how much savings is exactly enough. So stick around to the end. Hi guys, Buchi here. Welcome to this channel. If you're new here, thank you for stopping by. Do well to subscribe and hit the like button. Let's be honest, life is hard. The current global economy is not smiling. T-pain is T-paining. The cost of goods and services keeps increasing on a daily basis. The cost of living is costing the living. And if you're in the abroad, the bills are billing. So I really understand that savings can be difficult. But the truth is, emergency is not a matter of if, but when. Imagine you wake up in the morning and you try to start your car and your engine is not working. Or you get a call that a loved one is sick and needs to go into surgery, but you cannot afford to pay for it. Or you go into your office and there's this emergency town hall that they are downsizing, or what's the word they call it now? Restructuring. And due to that, they need to let you go. If you're in the abroad, you know that that's a thing here. You can have a job today and the next day you don't have a job. So all these unexpected events happen. And they won't send you a text that I'm going to happen tomorrow. These are things that you do not have control over, which brings us to the first question. When should I start saving? You need to start saving now because you have no control over what may happen in the future. Now, how do you save? First, you need to see savings as a bill. Just like you have your rent, your groceries, your utility, your savings is the bill that you pay to avoid future financial stress. Now, once you've started to see savings as that bill, you can then set a certain percentage of your income that you will save every month. For example, if you earn 100,000 naira and you want to start off saving today, I recommend you set up minimum of 10%. It could be more depending on your reality. But if you're starting with 10%, that's 10,000 naira going off your income to a savings account every month. Similarly, if for every payday in Canada you get $1,000, you take out $100 and put into a high interest savings account. What that does is it helps you build a savings habit, because if you can successfully do that for 6 months, you're already setting yourself on the right path. Statistics shows that 50% of Canadians cannot afford an emergency of $500 without a credit card or borrowing. And 70% of Nigerians are living paycheck to paycheck. So if you're able to implement this, in 6 months, you already have 60K, which sets you apart if you're earning in naira. And if you are able to save $100 every month, you already have $600, which means that you're already above the 50% of people that cannot afford such emergencies. Then you progress to the next phase, which is building an emergency fund, which is basically 3 to 6 months of your basic living expenses. But if you're starting off, the goal is to build the habit, and the only way you can build the habit is to set a realistic percentage that you commit to every month and do it diligently. Another important thing that I have to mention is that savings bill should be your first bill that leaves your account. So to achieve that, you have to automate the savings, meaning that as soon as the salary hits your account, 10% is going off into another account, because the money you don't see, you don't spend. How do they say it? See no evil, do no evil, right? So if out of your 100K, you only have 90K, regardless of the expenses, you find a way, you look for an alternative way to manage 90K for the month, and that's how you save. Now, if you're starting off, I want to say this: where you keep your money is dependent on your financial goal. Now, for the purpose of this video, we'll take it in 3 stages. As a beginner, you just want to start saving and you're in Nigeria, I recommend you use fintechs, right? Please note that this video is not sponsored, and I am strictly just recommending this platform based on my experiences. When I was back home, I was using Piggyvest and it was really good for me. I started off with Piggyvest, then I advanced to diversifying my portfolio when I already had my emergency fund, right? So if you're in Nigeria, you can use platforms like Piggyvest, Cowrywise, but research on these platforms and look for how they suit your need. But it's important to not put it in the traditional banks, because you and I know that you put 10K in our traditional bank, in 6 months, the amount is back to 9,990 naira. And you're wondering, where did my 10 naira go? So you don't want your savings reducing. That's why it's important to put it in the right platform. Now, if you're in Canada and you're wondering where to keep your savings, based on my personal recommendation, I think you also should not put your money in the traditional banks, because their interest rate is very ridiculous. They give you 0.0 something percent, when you have platforms like Wealthsimple and some banks, some high interest banks, giving you between 2.5% to 4%. I particularly use Wealthsimple to save, and I also use EQ Bank. EQ Bank is really, really good. And for these two, I'll put the link in the description for you, but you can also check them out. I currently got this email from EQ Bank like a week ago. They have increased my interest to 4%, which is higher than the current inflation rate in Canada. And this is a checking account that also serves as an high yield interest savings account. So for every money that goes into that account, right, I'm getting 4% interest every month. It's important to state that I became eligible for 4% by simply just updating my account information for my pay with my employer, because the condition is that every month you get a direct deposit of $2,000, which can be easily done. So this is why it's important to know where to keep your savings, just so that your savings do not depreciate. The next set of people are people that are in their short to long-term savings plan and do not know where to keep their money. There are lots of options. So if you're in Nigeria, you can consider treasury bills. The percentage currently is quite decent, although it's not at par with inflation rates, but you're able to get decent interest from it. You can also use platforms like Bamboo, RiseVest, where you can save in dollars and hedge over currency loss, and you have the option to invest in foreign stocks through ETFs. Now, for those in Canada, you can do GICs, or you save in stock. You can use Wealthsimple. You save in your TSFA, tax-free savings account, and you are able to invest this money in stock ETFs like VFV, SEQT. These are really good ETFs. We'll have a later video on investment to further explain how to invest, right? So if you are in this phase, I'm assuming that you already have your emergency funds for 3 months at the barest minimum before you start putting your money in all these places that I have mentioned. Remember that you have no business jumping into investments if you don't have an emergency savings. And it's important for you to progress gradually, because before Peking go walk, Peking gas crawl. So don't say I want to start saving today and tomorrow you're already putting all your money in cryptocurrency because everybody's talking about crypto. Yes, it's good, but you need to be able to already build the right foundation before you start investing on very high risky investments. The basic is get your emergency fund. Then once your emergency fund is sorted, you then assess your risk appetite to determine where you should invest your money. At the end of the day, saving money isn't about the numbers. It's about creating peace of mind for yourself. It's your way of avoiding sleepless nights in the future and gaining control over your life. So if you found this video helpful, do well to give it a thumbs up, share, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on future videos. Thank you for watching.